Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Viewers, we are coming to you live from the Wahab Adam Studios in Accra. This evening, we shall be discussing one of the important organizations of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, which is largely known as Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. And I am privileged to have been joined by the national president of the youth wing and then his vice. The national president is in the person of Hanif Bipwa, and then his vice is in the person of Abdul Wahab Edisei, who double as the chairman of the planning committee of the impending national Ijtemaa of the Majlis. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to us about the youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Now, Sada Saab, starting with you, you would bear with me that every practicing Ahmadi, or almost every practicing Ahmadi, would have heard of the name Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, and that every practicing Ahmadi at the same time would have taken notice of the uniform of the youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Yes, but there are a lot of us who do not know the reasons which accounted for the establishment of the youth wing. Could you take us through the reason or the reasons that accounted for the establishment of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya?
Yes. Jazakumullah. Most grateful for your question. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. The name Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya basically means servants of Ahmadiyya. Right. And by that meaning, it already speaks to the purpose for the formation of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. Right. The whole idea was to bring together the youth between the ages of 15 and 40, who are not necessarily amongst elite people, and they are not necessarily scholars in religion. Okay. But these are youth who have pledged allegiance to Islam and to the Khalifa of the time, so that these youth may be able to reflect upon their spirituality, improve upon their spirituality, and create a certain brotherhood within the broader community of Ahmadiyya. Right. So that what then happens is that the youth are able to focus on the worship of Allah as Islam teaches us. So if you are asking the real purpose for the formation of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, the whole idea was to galvanize all the youth who are male between the ages of 15 and 40 in order for them to focus on their spirituality and the worship of Allah.
Very well. Thank you so much. Naib Sado, you double as the chairman of the planning committee of the impending national Ijtemaa. Could you take us through the daily activities of the youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community?
Jazakumullah for the question. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya is an organization which conducts various activities on a day-to-day basis. Right. As Sadr Saab has already mentioned, the purpose for which the Majlis was formed was built on the principles and the tenets of service and sacrifice, and to inculcate in its members, the commitment to faith and to country and the world for the betterment of the world. So our activities, span activities that are useful in training our members, and also activities that help us to extend our service to the general community. Yes. So we have training programs, programs that teach us morality, programs that help us to enhance our knowledge, seminars on marriages, we have health seminars, and also we have programs, as I said, that's where we extend our services to the community. For instance, we do blood donations, other forms of donations. We have what we call the dignity of labor, where we work on our properties, cleanup exercises, and not just on our properties. We also go into the general communities and then do cleanup exercises, planting of trees, and so on and so forth.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, coming back to you, Sadisab, one of the things that is unique about the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, apart from Khilafat, is that the community organizes conferences from time to time. And I know that in some few days to come, the youth wing shall also be having its national conference. But why are conferences so important to Ahmadiyya Muslim community? And why do we organize these conferences from time to time?
I'm grateful. You know, the thing about conferences in Jamaat Ahmadiyya really picks its source from the Holy Quran and also picks its source from the practices of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. During the advent of the Prophet alayhi salam, then we noticed that he actually brought it into prominence so that the whole world will know that this is a teaching of Islam that brings Muslims together to do a lot of acts of worship and also to improve brotherhood amongst Muslims.
Right.
Now, the whole idea about the organization of Jalsa, which the Ijtemaa then came out of, i.e. the rallies for the youth, was to make sure that every year all the Muslims will come together and take stock of what has happened over the year, how they have progressed both spiritually, materially, and as a community. So for Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya particularly, our Ijtemaas from the beginning, upon its creation, began to be partnered with the Jalsa Salana. So sometimes a particular session of the Jalsa is created specifically for the Khuddamul Ahmadiyya as an Ijtemaa. But years down the line, then we noticed that it was separated into a full-fledged Ijtemaa, where we had a national Ijtemaa and subsequently we had local Ijtemaas. So the whole purpose is that every year, every group or at every level, the group of Khuddam that are found there are able to come together to reflect upon the activities they have carried out and the impact it has had on them, and also to plan for the subsequent year, the new programs they are supposed to undertake in order to achieve what my brother said, service to the society we live in, and then the worship of Allah. We look at the kind of programs that can help us to achieve all these things. So the Ijtemaa is the highlight of the year. It's also the opportunity to plan for the subsequent year.
I shall be coming back to you on this, but let me go to Naib Sadasab. Naib Sadasab, the world has advanced so much. I mean, just some years ago when COVID struck, you know, a lot of activities were organized virtually. So somebody can boldly say that it is not that advisable or it's not that important that when people want to organize a program, they should physically come together to organize that program. I'm asking this question because I want you to tell me, in this current stage that we find ourselves, why are conferences still important and unique to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community?
Jazakumullah. I think that conferences are not something which is unique to the Ahmadiyya community per se, in the sense that people of various groups gather and have conferences from time to time. Businesses, professionals, they meet, and conferences are a platform where people share experiences, narratives, and help to improve themselves. The only thing is that Ahmadiyyat has made it a mainstay, where it's not something we do as an ad hoc event. Throughout the year, it's part of the plans of the wing organizations and the Jamaat as a whole. Even during the COVID, we also organized various gatherings virtually, because the Jamaat is a very dynamic Jamaat, and we move along the situations of the time. However, one cannot take away the essence of the human touch. I believe that all the gatherings that were organized virtually during the COVID time, though they helped us achieve a lot, but the human touch, seeing someone, being able to speak to someone, the benefit of that cannot be replaced by what we do virtually. So when the times have allowed that we hold conferences face to face, we are ever ready to return to that kind of conference holding, because the benefit of that far exceeds what we do virtually.
Right. So, which in a nutshell mean that, I mean, coming together physically helps to renew family relations, for people to, you know, make friends, and then for members of the Jamaat to get so much connected.
Exactly. That is one of the purposes of organizing conferences in the Jamaat, to build, to help us fraternize and build our bonds of brotherhood. So if we don't meet together, we realize that something is missing. When we meet, it helps us enhance, you know, that form of fraternal ties. Thank
you very much. Senator, very soon we shall be holding the 42nd National Ijtemaa of the Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. Now, what is so special about this year's Ijtemaa?
So, this year's Ijtemaa, for me personally, apart from being the first Ijtemaa, I get to organize as the Sadr.
That's the president.
The president.
The national president of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya Ghana.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
So it holds a unique position in my life personally, but broadly and most importantly, this Ijtemaa is the opportunity for us as we come out of the COVID to really congregate as many as we can. Because last year we held one, but it was just at the back of the COVID, so we're now recovering. But this year we've put in adequate measures in order to accommodate more people. Besides that, this year is a year we intend to prepare and plan towards the visit of our beloved Khalifa, Yadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasir al-Aziz, if and when he comes next year, inshallah. So this Ijtemaa also gives us that opportunity to plan towards his coming, and then get all the youth thinking in one direction towards his coming. And when I say plan, it's not only mental. We also ought to actually take physical, real steps to plan for his coming. The details will be brought out in subsequent programs.
Very well.
And beyond that, this gentleman, who is the chairman of the organizing committee, has also put in a whole lot of new features to it,
I shall be going
which
to
will
him
go
very
to
soon.
him.
Yes,
Perfect.
Yes.
So you would have heard from him that there's something unique about this Ijtemaa, inshallah.
Very well. Naib Sadr, you are the chairman of the planning committee. So what went into the planning? Because almost Ahmadis from different parts of Ghana, especially the youthful Ahmadis from different parts of Ghana, shall be meeting very soon in Kumasi, and a lot is needed. You know, a lot preparation is needed, you know, in terms of, I mean, ensuring that their coming will be a success and then their stay will also be a success. So what arrangements, you know, as the chairman of the planning committee, have you people put in place or made so far in anticipation of the numbers that will be coming?
Jazakumullah. So the planning of the Ijtemaa started way back from the beginning of the Majlis year in November of last year. That is when Sadr Saab graciously constituted the National Ijtemaa Planning Committee. And right away, we hit the ground running and started organizing our meetings, choosing our theme, choosing the venue, writing letters to various stakeholders. And then we also visited the grounds. We hold meetings based on the phases. We have 2 phases. We have the first phase, and during that phase, we hold monthly meetings. So we hold monthly meetings. Some are virtual, some we hold on the grounds, so that we can physically ascertain the facilities and how we are going to use them to our benefit. So we've been holding these meetings and discussing a number of things. Our budgets, the programs and the plans that the various subcommittees have for our members when they come for the Ijtemaa. So it's taking a lot of planning, and we are still into it. We have discussions with the police, the various stakeholders, the departments of the Jamaat that are going to take part in the Ijtemaa for the various activities, the speakers, the actual tools that we are going to use for the Ijtemaa. We make sure that everything is on point. Our beloved Huzur is very particular about ensuring that when you organize such rallies, or conferences, you do everything, you put everything on point, so that there are no deficiencies as far as the arrangements are concerned. So it takes a lot of planning and a lot of hard work to ensure that we are able to achieve this. Will people
get places to sleep? And then in terms of the food that they'll be eating every now and then, have you made preparations for that?
Absolutely. That is more or less what constitutes the rally.
Right.
If people come to the rally and they don't have places to stay, it means you have not organized the rally. If people come to the rally, no matter what effort you put into the planning, if you are not able to feed them well.
Right.
So accommodation and feeding have to do with hospitality. These people, when they come to the rally or they come for conferences, they are the guests of the promised Messiah, the guests of the founder of the community.
Right.
And you don't joke with such people.
That's true.
You have to treat them in the best way possible. So we try our best to give them the best accommodation as far as our abilities are concerned. The best accommodation and the best food we can provide for them. So those who want to come for the rally should not relent on where they are going to sleep and the food they are going to eat.
Very well, very well. So I know that people are not just coming for spiritual upliftment, but of course, for fiscal, upliftment as well. I'm talking about, will there be things like, apart from listening to speeches, from scholars of the Jamaat, to get themselves well spiritually nourished, will there be games that will be organized for the people to participate in as a way of ensuring that it is not a dull moment for them?
Most definitely. About one half of the program, indeed, in my opinion, more than one half of the program is dedicated to organizing games and other programs that are of interest to youth. So we have made it such that most of our time is not for speeches. It's just after the tahajjud and after fajr, those times that you do not have daylight per se, to do games that we use for speeches in order to uplift ourselves spiritually.
Right.
But one of the focus of Ijtemaa is to give a platform for the youth to exercise themselves and bring out their energies and enjoy themselves. So yes, my brother here and his team have organized a lot of games, and there are new games that have been infused. I understand this year badminton is coming in. I understand this year they have brought in some field events like javelin, shot put, discus. And I understand this year they have created an exhibition center that is very engaging because there will be FIFA, something. I'm not so much good in those things.
Very well.
But those who know how to play virtual football, there's a whole place prepared for them. So it will engage a lot of people. There is arm wrestle, there is tug of peace, what people call tug of war. And so various programs everybody can participate in, inshallah. And so this rally will give an opportunity for a lot of people to engage. But of course, we cannot forget of football.
Right.
This year, every region will play both
because that's
Khuddam
what I was going
and
to
Atfal.
mention.
Yes, both Khuddam, 15 to 40 years, and Atfal, those who are between 7 and 15. They are also a sort of an appendage to the youth wing, Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. They are called Atfal. And so they are also going to have the opportunity to play football. We've created their own field for them.
Will there be volley?
Play. Yes, there will be volley, inshallah. The volley, we cannot do without it. Where the national amla, my amla, my executive, national executive, will face off with the missionaries of Ahmadiyya all over the country. They choose a best team, we choose our best team, we beat them frequently.
That will be a very exciting game to watch.
Sure, inshallah.
Naimsad, will you participate in any of the games?
Yes, I will be participating. Yes, definitely when the amla is playing, I will represent. The beautiful thing about what Sadr Sahab has said is that this year we've put in a format that will allow more time for the games. Previously when we were playing football, for instance, because we wanted every region to participate, and the games, if we had time for games, it was both for Atfal and Khuddam. You realize that time was not enough, to be able to exhaust the games properly. This year we've changed the format a little bit, so that when it's time for games for Atfal, the time is for Atfal to have games. And so they have the time to exhaust themselves and exhaust the number of games. And Khuddam will also have that time. So it will not be, we will not be in a hurry to finish the football game, for instance.
Very well.
We'll have time to, play to the best of our...
So Sir, briefly, so what should we expect? Because I am making preparation, yes. and against and I know other colleagues and friends of mine are equally making preparation. So what is in it for us? What should we expect?
Yes, this year we want to encourage every Khadim and Tifl to do their best to attend the rally. Reason being that our team is very engaging. Our team is most crucial at the moment. The way of the righteous is the most important topic right now. But we are not only going to do it through speeches, we'll do it through academic competitions. So if you participate, you get to hear people's views about various topical issues currently in society. We would also make sure that you have an interaction with our foreign dignitaries. So usually it's an important feature in our rallies. Just as we participate in international Khuddam rallies, and two of my delegates returned from Uganda just this afternoon. They participated on our behalf. And we would also receive, I got confirmation from Benin, Sadr. He's coming with another member. Nigeria already indicated to me about a month ago, he's coming with a team, hopefully, and many other African countries. So we'll have our Khuddam to be able to fraternize with these people. It's another important opportunity. But above all, you get another opportunity to renew your faith by participating in our Tahajjud Salah. And it's an important thing everybody should look up to. The congregational Tahajjud with thousands.
Which is observed at dawn.
Yes, at dawn. Over 3,500 Khuddam we anticipate will congregate, and we'll all come together and do this about 3 times during the period. So we invite everybody to come. And there's an opportunity for people to participate in other indoor games and even the outdoor ones without necessarily being part of a team, the individual games. So let people come and enjoy this, inshallah.
I'm told another key thing that will happen there is Quran recital competition. Because of that, I've been rehearsing in the house so that I can do it on behalf of
your region.
My region,
right.
Greater Accra region.
Inshallah.
So what is going into the Quran recital competition, and how is it being organized?
Well, basically, we have the Quran recitation for Atfal. And the Atfal, we have 2 groups. We have the Mayar Sagir, that's between 7 and 11 years. And then the Mayar Kabir, 11 to 14 years. And they'll be having their competitions. And then we'll have that for the Khuddam. And that will be members between the ages of 15 and 40. And normally what we do is we choose a portion for you. We prefer these days that we pick people who have not, mastered the Quran over a long time, so that they can compete for the regions. In the years past, recent years, we've also tried to introduce, the recitation for those who have mastered. And in the course of time, we are going to develop that into a very big competition, inshallah.
Thank you so much. Before I come to my last question, I mean, a lot of Ahmadi youth are watching you on MTA, and I'm sure this will be one of the best opportunities for you to speak to them directly. What message, as the president of the youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, do you have for the Ahmadi youth who are currently watching you and those that probably will subsequently watch this program? What message do you have for them?
I'm grateful for this opportunity. It's important for us to reflect on our purpose for being created as a youth. And it's also important for us to recognize that we have a Khalifa currently who is on earth with us, who serves as the intermediary between us and Allah, to the extent that he will teach us the proper ways of life and the proper teachings of Islam, so that we all have to develop a link with our beloved Huzur. And when we do that, we get the proper guidance. So I would advise the youth to remember that even though times have far advanced by way of civilization, but a human being is still answerable to Allah. You are still answerable to your Lord, and you must make sure that the changes in society does not carry you away from the basic tenets of Islam, i.e. your worship of Allah and then your service to humanity.
Very well.
But the key word is Khilafat. Let's all remember that the Khalifa exists to guide us. So let's create a link with him and be guided.
Thank
Inshallah.
you very much. Naib Sadr, do you have something to add?
Yes, I can't end without mentioning a few of the activities that are also going to happen at the rally.
Right.
Very quickly. This year will be the year when we bring back the route march.
Okay.
You know,
what is route march? I mean, educate us a bit on that.
Yes, route march is an activity where the entirety of the members who participate in the rally dress very beautifully in their uniforms and walk through the principal streets of wherever we are having the rally peacefully and try to engage the community and introduce them to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and why we are there.
Right.
Exactly. So for some years now, we have not been having the route march due to a reason or two. This year, we are bringing it back. Okay. And it's going to be very beautiful.
So route march is going to be revived.
It's going to be
revived.
Not dead. It's not dead. It's going to be revived. Aside that, Sarah Saab mentioned the exhibition. The exhibition is going to be a very beautiful spectacle.
Okay.
You know, there are various activities lined up by the Majlis and by the various departments of the Jamaat. For instance, we are going to have the review of religions available, and they have an elaborate program, very beautiful program. We have the Mirza Ghulam Qadr Shahid IT Center. Is also going to be present.
Right.
We have Humanity First. We are going to have the creative projects competition, which is ongoing at the moment. People who have some crafts, paintings and all that, they have the opportunity to display that. We have MTA going to be there. And this year too, we have the National Library is going to be present. When you come, all the books that you've been looking for, the Jamaat literature you've been looking for and you have not been getting, they are going to be available at the rally this year, inshallah. So it's going to be very beautiful. The exhibition, for instance, the route march, and a number of programs that are going to make this.
So viewers, you can hear it from the Sadrs and the Naib Sadr, I mean, what to expect in relation to the impending national Ijtemaa. But I mean, before we go, Sadr Saab, what are the blessings that come with attending the national rallies?
Yes, so the national rally, from the teachings of the Prophet alayhi salam, our conferences have the unique blessing of increased spiritual, how do you call it, verities, i.e. there's intensification in prayers, glorification of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, listening to spiritual speeches and moral speeches that are supposed to uplift you and improve you in your morality and spirituality, meeting with family, meeting with friends, meeting with academic, professional peers. And so these are all benefits or blessings that you get from the Ijtemaa that when you stay at home, you will not get. You get it. And we also get the opportunity to travel from one part of the country to another. And it's one of our teachings to travel in the land and see what Allah has created elsewhere. And so it is mostly the spiritual blessing in it of attending a rally and joining together in a congregation to pray tahajjud and all the 5 daily prayers in congregation, which many youth do not benefit from. And so yes, we advise that the rally is power-packed with blessings.
Very well. Thank you so much. Naib Sadr Saab, there will be something called the creative project that will also be part of this year's Ijtemaa. What is it about?
Yes, as I mentioned, the youth. A lot of times we are sitting at home and waiting for employment, waiting for the government or some organization to employ us. Whereas we can use our hands, to build some crafts, to engage in, some activity. This creative project competition is a competition that seeks to bring to fore the members of the Majlis who are using their hands, for some craft, so to speak. So if you have a craft, if you put together, some people put together some paintings, some people build cars, some beautiful crafts, and a host of things. I have one. Those who have submitted, some people are doing putting together some innovative things.
Okay.
Someone has found a new way of, putting together charcoal, for instance,
okay.
so that it will reduce the deforestation that is happening in the country.
Well.
So whatever you have, whatever craft you are into, we encourage you to submit to the committee,
okay.
so that we will vet it and present it and display it at the rally.
Okay.
And who knows, some people have, through such opportunities, through such avenues, had opportunities where they have had huge sponsorships.
That's true.
And they have enhanced their economic situation.
Thank you so much, National President, Vice President, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and speak to us about the youth wing of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. You've educated a lot of people, including me. There were a lot of things I didn't know about Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya, but thankfully, through you people, I have been able to have myself well educated. We can't thank you enough for making yourself available. Viewers, this is all that we have for you. And for those of you who are watching us in the house, those who are part and parcel of the youth wing, get yourself prepared for the impending national Ijtemaa. It's coming on which date?
On the 28th, 29th, and 30th of this month, September.
On the 28th, 29th, and 30th of this month of September. Viewers, don't you go away. We have many more programs coming your way.
At Asokore.
At Asokore in Ashanti region.
Yes.
Good. Viewers, don't you go away. We have many more programs coming your way on MTA. Exactly. Thanks for watching. Jazakallah.